Hi, this is Mark with ValueCharts.com. We're taking a look at the soybean futures market here. This market continues to be in a wedge pattern, and we can basically see that yesterday we were looking at the strong possibility of this market actually going to test the lower boundary of this wedge pattern, this lower trend line here, but it looks like now we're heading to actually test the upper boundary here. Even with today's correction, where the market's basically sold off, call it around 7.5 cents below the closing of yesterday, which is today's session. This is now the overnight price action. We would consider this as a possible good entry for the expectation that the market is going to rally up to right around the 1660 level to test and possibly break the upper trend line here. Now there's two different things that suggest it might do that, but one of them is the weekly price patterns, which we'll quickly look at here. And we're projecting that we could see a cycle low here with the cycle indicator, MQ cycle finder indicator at the bottom. Also, just with the way the momentum is acting, it just looks like this market is not going to actually turn down, but actually could have a momentum continuation upwards here. The weekly bars are holding steady, so we're not seeing a sharp decline in prices or a sharp correction. We're seeing prices consolidate here. If we can see a breakout again of the upper trend line here that would connect the highs of the weekly bars, then we could see a continuation much higher possibly with this market. Now, typically, historically, the grain markets often peak out in the July month or thereabouts. It's not unusual, though, to see tops in September or even October, but although that tends to happen much less frequently. So let's keep an eye on this. At minimum, I would expect this market to potentially go up and test the upper trend line of the wedge pattern, and we'll look at a 60-minute chart. This suggests that we're now moderately undervalued according to a 5-bar daily, or I'm sorry, 60-minute value bars indicator. So we can actually go ahead and take a look at what a 10-bar might look like in terms of valuation. That is not quite moderately undervalued yet, but we might want to see if that actually reaches down into the moderately undervalued level using a 10-bar look back period or analysis period for the value bars indicator. So let's take a look at that. We could use the 5-bar, which is more reactive, and that is currently, as we saw a minute ago, registering moderately undervalued. I would say let's for a more conservative approach here, we could also look at the 10-bar as a possible entry point, with the expectation that this market could rally from current levels or a little bit less than this to the 1660 level, which would represent the high end of the wedge pattern. We'll continue to watch this market to see what happens.